Hello everyone. Right, I've got a bit of an update for you. We've got some new additions. Not something that is very commonly kept, but all the same very beautiful to look at. Originally in this 4-foot vivarium there was going to be a ball python. However, where I'm currently living at the moment, the young lady of the house isn't a fan of snakes, and I love pretty much all reptiles, so it's not too much of an issue for me. So I've done a bit of research, and I've had these guys for around a month now. It's a breeding trio. As you can see, there's a bit of a clue of what they are. They feed on crickets in there. Breeding trio, captive bred, 2015. They're called, the scientific name is Goniurosaurus Luii. Basically, in layman's term, commonly kept name would be Chinese cave geckos. Now you can get obviously different types of them, and as I said, these are the Luii, Luii. Now I've got one that is egg carrying at the moment, one that is in shed, as I checked on them to feed them yesterday. I can tell that one of them is in shed, which I'll show you in a moment. Now, I'm not too great with these guys on handling. Obviously, where they've just been used to breed, they haven't been handled very much, so they aren't the friendliest of things at all. However, if most people know, with geckos, they're not going to actively sort of chase your hand around or anything silly like that. But I would definitely wouldn't handle these guys, purely down to the fact is they're not tame, and they do have very sharp teeth and claws. So it's not something I'm actively looking forward to doing, if I'm honest with you. But there should be one of the females under here. Oh, we've got both females under here. Both of them are in shed. As you can tell by the head of this female on the left there, is they're normally a lot darker than that. But where they're going into shed, they're obviously a bit more grey. Now the main thing with these guys is their striking eyes. That's what normally everyone goes for. Now you can tell these guys obviously look on a bit more of the stocky side. As I said earlier, they are in with a male, so they are going to be obviously carrying eggs and breeding throughout the year. Males tend to be smaller than females. So yeah, they are normally smaller than the females. I've had these guys for about a month now. I don't know if I said that already. Doing really well. The care side, obviously, where they're not commonly kept in captivity, not many people have Chinese cave geckos. They're a bit shy, really beautiful animals, but obviously, as the name says, they tend to live in caves. Parts of come from China. You also get Japanese ones, so sort of Asian area that way. Where they're not very commonly kept, there's not too much information out there. But luckily, I've been speaking to the breeder I got these from, and he's filled me in really well on some information. Now the cool thing with these guys is where they do come from sort of Asia and things like that, you can keep them at room temperature. They do just fine, but obviously I always like to be more safe than sorry, so I do have a heat mat under this rock here, which I've set to probably around sort of mid-20s, 23, 24, just so they do have the option of going into there if wanted, basically. Setup is, you know, fairly standard. It isn't going to be their permanent home. Where these guys like fairly high humidity, I'm sort of running humidity at 80 to 90%. Obviously a wooden vivarium in the long run isn't going to be the best option. So I am looking at getting Exoterra 90 by 60, no 90 by 45 by 45. That's what I'm going to be getting hopefully the end of this month, if not the beginning of next. But these guys are doing absolutely fine in here. There's no issues with them at all. Doing really, really well. Really cool to watch hunt of an evening. But yeah, care wise, very, very easy. I spray them down once in the morning and once of an evening before I go to bed, just because they are obviously more active at night time, so they're going to want higher humidity throughout the day, and I kind of let the middle of the day let it sort of settle and dry out slightly. Feeding wise, I feed them on crickets and dubia roaches. I think it's medium-sized dubia roaches I give them. I give them crickets. If I'm giving them a lot of crickets, which at the moment I am, which I will be changing to dubia roaches because they are just better all round for them. But yeah, I feed them around sort of 3 times a week. Where they are obviously egg bound at the moment, they have got some leftover mealworms in there that I'm going to change out after the video. Just so they've got a constant supply of them. They don't really tend to eat them. I haven't noticed them eat any. I have seen them catch a few crickets, but the trouble is with these guys, as soon as the light goes on, they're off and hiding again. They're very, very shy. But yeah, they are beautiful, beautiful geckos to own. Really interesting. And as I said, not very commonly kept. The community of people that do breed Chinese cave gecko, being Goniurosaurus, the different types of morph of Goniurosaurus, that subspecies, should I say, not morph, the different subspecies that they do breed of Goniurosaurus aren't very commonly seen, and they're not for everyone. As I said, they are very, very shy. So, you know, that may be a reason that people tend not to keep them, but I think they're beautiful, really, really nice looking. If I show you again, they almost look like prehistoric, cool geckos, really. But yeah, really, really cool. Really nice. See if I can find the male for you. As I said, the the males tend to be smaller, but with the Luii, they are very, very good climbers. Hence why I want a different enclosure for them with a bit more height as well. Not only sort of because of the humidity, but I would like to give them a bit more of option to climb, because they will use it. That's so I've been told, and the research I've done suggests that they will use it also. So I think the male is under here. So yeah, this is the male here. Get you a close up, I'm just trying not to drop that bit of wood. And as you can tell, the male is considerably smaller. If the audio isn't very good, I've got my camera inside the Viv now. But yeah, really, really cool looking animals, and quite difficult to sex, so I've been told, sorry, so I've heard. They're very difficult to sex. That's why a lot of people keep them for a year or so, because they're very hard to sex. I suppose it's like most geckos, lizards. The slight bulges on the back is obviously going to indicate a male, if you can see just there. But yeah, gorgeous, gorgeous patterning, really, really nice. When they've just freshly shed, they look beautiful. The head is probably my favourite part of them. and the orange banding. Very, very nice. Beautiful, beautiful geckos. I am about to spray them down. I haven't sprayed them yet this morning, so I'm just about to spray them down. That's why the substrate's a little bit on the dry side. But yeah, really, really nice. I will do an updated care video on these guys, just in case anyone is interested in getting them in and keeping them themselves. But yeah, they're so different, and as soon as they come up and I saw them for sale, I joined a few sort of forums and things like that, but as soon as I saw them for sale, I knew that I couldn't pass up the opportunity to take these guys, and I could possibly be getting some more, but we'll see. That could be in the pipeline. If not, there's a few more additions I'm planning on getting into the reptile room. Ideally, I probably am going to keep Goniurosaurus, just keep them going throughout the collection now, just because I find them so interesting. Now these guys will fool you massively. You think they're very, very slow, but my god, they are so fast when they get going. To try and catch one of these guys is fair play to the gentleman I bought these from, because he had them ready and sort of packed for me to collect, but my god, they are so fast. But just take a moment to appreciate how beautiful they actually are. One thing with these guys that I have researched and also been told is that much like a crested gecko, they don't actually tend to drink from standing water. Now obviously it has been proven one way or the other, and you know, some different geckos would could possibly drink from it, but the general rule is that they don't drink from standing water, hence why spraying them a couple of times a day is so imperative to them. But yeah, they are really, really nice. As I said, you can keep them at room temperature. The babies of these guys that I'm hoping to get soon, I'm going to up the level of substrate to make it a bit deeper for them, because the females do look, like I said, like they are carrying eggs now. Which is really, really exciting. So once that's done, I'm not gonna put a box in there, like a lay box. I was thinking about putting a lay box in, but I want to give them a bit of free roam on where they want to lay the eggs. Eventually, when I do go to the Exoterra, I will go bioactive. So I will more than likely, because you can just leave the eggs in there, you can incubate them at room temperature. So you can just leave the eggs in there. So when I do that, I will more than likely just leave the eggs in there and pull them once they hatch, basically. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything on these guys. Really beautiful. I don't know about you guys, but you know, I'm really excited to be working with them. Any comments, any questions, anything like that, feel free to comment. As I said, I will be doing some more videos on these guys shortly, but I just thought, I've had them for a month now, I've let them settle in, so I thought it was about time that I showed you guys what I've got. But thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for the upcoming updates on these guys and many other things to come in the future. Thank you, bye bye.